Hello and welcome to another episode of the Just Go Watch podcast. We are slightly delayed, coming into your ears just after the weekend. I know you've missed us. I'm sorry. I can only apologize. But here we are, reviewing, of course, Moana 2, which is the muchly... I mean, it's just us all over, isn't it?
I don't need
absolute fucking dog shit.
I do not need to see it to know it's dog shit.
The level of anxiety I have before that button, I don't want to speak. That's how bad it is. I'm like, don't say a word. He's gonna hit.
It's horrible because then he pauses, he waits for a moment, and then I'm like, then the silence gets me. I feel like I have to say something, but I know when I say something, he's gonna do it.
Mash that button.
Horrible. Now you're safe. Intro. Now you're safe. Man. Now you're safe. Now you can just word vomit out everything that you wanted to in the initial part. I'm getting better at it as well, at drawing you all in. And it's also my favorite part of the pod, so it's all downhill from here.
It makes me really uncomfortable. And also the thing is that I've got the same power. I can do it myself. And yet somehow I leave the power to you.
I don't think you've got enough to wield it. There's a good intro. You did well. You did well.
Every time I see it, it reminds me that we are the foremost podcast in the world of any subject.
Yeah, and YouTube channel.
Yeah. Don't be fooled by the lack of views on YouTube because we're just starting that. So simple as that.
Right.
And while we're here, while we're on that, listen, please. Yeah, trying to grow the YouTube channel. So give us a like, give us a follow, give us a that's it really. Comment, say something. Abuse Hatch. That's what I like to see more than anything. I don't even really want you to talk about films. Just some horrible things about Hatch that's going to make him consider whether or not he wants to continue living. That kind of thing is what I want.
What we were talking about before the show started, we might want to ease back on that a little bit.
Yeah. If it's okay, maybe just settle for the type of comment that makes me question whether I actually should be on a podcast or not.
We know. All right.
Yeah,
I'll do.
Maybe, big up Dejan MP whilst also slating me that would really feed into my paranoia and anxiety.
There it is.
I'd accept that. And if you are listening on podcasts on Spotify, then give us that 5-star rating. Again, you can drop a comment. It just really helps us. Get out there. So if you've not done that, then fucking do it now.
Yeah, especially if you've been with us since the beginning, man. Give us that vibe. Give us some likes. Help us get out there, man. You're our day ones, man. So get with us. Also, hit us up on Twitter and Instagram at JustGoWatchPod. Again, any kind of comments and abuse, sorry, MP, I've jumped on your mama. Sorry, man.
I know.
Sometimes I've just got to get in there. Sometimes
he hasn't even seen the movie and he's just walking all over me here.
Oh, you just grasped me up. You just grasped up. What snitch? What unbelievable snitch.
Listen, I know what your underwater animal would be. It would be the sea snake.
100%. Well, no, listen, there's one thing I can't abide.
That's my nickname.
Someone in America get over there and slice him up. Because
I'm safe. Anybody comes through that door, you better be wearing some body armor.
They gonna get hit with my 45.
Slice him up. That's the worst advice you can give.
My bad.
Back to a gun fight.
Yeah, my bad. So I haven't seen the film. It's true. I didn't get a chance to because I'm moving house, but it did occur to me that there is some real low-hanging fruit here. I had to come on because, listen, man, Hachi, what time did you go to the cinema and see this?
4:40 in the afternoon.
4:40 in the afternoon to see a children's film. This guy went to the cinema. Can you imagine sitting there with his bucket of popcorn with a hole in the bottom? Hi, little Joey. Would you like some popcorn?
Can I just say that this was the most uncomfortable cinema viewing I have been to the cinema, and I have seen Spider. What was the web? The female one, Madam Web. I was the only one in the theater that time, and I've had some really uncomfortable times in the theater. This by far was like this took the biscuit 100%. Like it was parents and their kids. It was single parents and their kids. It was kids with other kids. There was no one else on their own, either adult or child. So yeah, this was
grin from ear to ear through the whole movie.
This was really uncomfortable, and
Just
I left
11.
as soon as the credits rolled, which meant I missed. There was actually a mid-credit scene, and I missed it. So
Don't lie, Hatch. You dressed up like Maui. Come here and give Maui a hug, kids.
Sir, are you wearing anything under those leaves? Just a little bit of sunshine.
Yeah, the parents going out like, "Oh, it's amazing that you had a Maui mascot in there. It was so good." And the manager's like, "The what? The what?"
Hatch.
Well, yeah, I mean, it was slightly different because he didn't have any tattoos and he was a pasty white guy. But yeah, he was pretty much dressed the same.
Yeah, he had the physique of a child and yet the face of a man.
And not a good-looking one at that.
Oh, no, you're good looking. You're good looking.
Yeah, thanks. I am. I am.
You're a good looking man. You're a good looking man. You have the shoulders of an 8-year-old girl, but the face of a Greek god. So
thank you. That is nice. And you can kind of see that in my avatar actually. If you are watching on YouTube here, you can't help. And look at that hair. You've captured the hair masterfully.
Yeah. You've got a quiff from the gods.
Yes, you do. Yes, you do.
So back to the actual movie itself. Yeah, Moana 2. So this is obviously a sequel. The amazingly named Moana 2. I'd have thought they'd have put something else in there. I have to apologize. Got a terrible frog in my throat. Deej, I might have to let you do the plot and it. Let me get that out there. Yeah, with a runtime of
I might try to do it if I wasn't grassed up.
Do you know what? I reckon that's a shout. A Disney movie with your returning lead, and The Rock, and you know what's going to happen. Budget. What do you reckon budget is? You can still join in there.
An animated one. Animation is quite expensive, isn't it? And The Rock, we all know that The Rock don't do anything for less than 40 mil. So
that's right.
Yeah, but this speaks to his heart, so maybe he took a pay cut.
Shit.
I don't know. I've got no idea. We've never done an animation before. I'm going to say 100 million.
Shit. I was going to say that. Oh, I'll go 125. I have, like I said, like Deej said, I have no idea what animation, how much that costs.
150.
Wow. Well, 50 of that is The Rock.
Yeah. But I do feel like this is different to Red One because I do feel like this is going to make good money. I do feel like that.
Well, I'm sure.
Well, we do have the full box office international results from the weekend. So tell me, has it?
Ooh. Opening for everyone worldwide. Worldwide. I reckon maybe budget. No, not budget. 100 mil. What I thought was budget. 100 mil.
Okay.
Worldwide, I'll go crazy. Let's go 200 million.
Boys, you do not know what that Disney machine can do. 404 million.
Woo! Are we serious right now?
Yeah, that's scripting for Moana 3.
Yeah.
That's my boy.
Damn.
See, people slagging my boy off, and The Rock. Listen, you can't keep him down. Yeah, you know why? Because he's the people's champ. He is the final boss. If you smell, he can listen. Yeah, and also for all the people that were slagging off Red One, I actually read that apparently, Red One was not actually supposed to be released in the cinema. And so any money it makes in the cinema is actually a bonus because the money is all made through the streaming stuff. So actually, that one's not even a flop either.
Disgusting.
I was listening to this podcast about Red One the other day, and one of the hosts gave it like a 5.5. And then because The Rock was in it, he gave it a bonus of 2 points to 7.5. What a crazy show that was.
That's mental.
Did he say anything like along the lines of only if you watch it between the days of December the 1st and December the 24th?
I think so. There were a lot of weird accents going on. I couldn't separate them out, but it was just crazy the jump he gave this movie. Yeah, Red One.
Some dubious ratings, but not unexpected. So Moana 2 picking up, funnily enough, from Moana 1. We're 3 years after. Deej, take the plot away of this one, having not seen the film.
Well, we pick up this film on the island that is now thriving with Moana. And she hasn't seen Maui for a while.
Also correct.
He's off doing his thing, and then
yes,
unfortunately something starts happening that is negative.
My goodness, it does
in some way.
It does.
You're right.
And
You're right.
Moana has to go back to the sea and on an adventure to find Maui. And and then her and Maui tackle a bunch of things together, and there is sing along the way, and there are songs and other sea creatures, and until in the end they come up against the ultimate thing that they've been kind of hunting the whole time, and somehow win, and in the end everything is okay, and that is the plot.
There you go.
You nailed it there.
That is the fucking plot of Moana 2. I watched this film today, and I really would struggle to fill in the pieces.
How accurate is that?
That is
pretty close.
That
is
pretty close. That is pretty close. We get a few extra side characters on this one, though. We've bumped up the Maui fan club.
If you would have said,
we also meet
spoiler
other random
plot review, you would have nailed it.
Yeah.
Well, no. I mean, he's technically, he's spoiled it, but you can guess what it is. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Technically speaking, you would have, but yeah. We get introduced to a villain who's not a villain. We get introduced to some other additional people who may or may not have some stuff to do along the way. Spoiler alert: they don't. And we get some kind of, are they paying homage or are they taking the piss out of sort of this kind of Maui culture and that kind of thing. I don't know. That's not for me to say because I was part of colonialism.
Racism, is it?
Yeah, basically. Yeah. That was the plot. Well done, Deej. Thank you. But we'll start with MP and what your thoughts were.
All right. Well, after that brilliant plot synopsis from my co-host, what's his name again? It doesn't matter what his name is. Sit your Rudy Poo candy ass down and listen to my review. All right. So that was my rock. That's the best I could do. I'll do the eyebrow thing right now. Moana 2 Polynesian Boogaloo. I don't know how to even rate this movie. God, like you were saying, Hatch, you're sitting uncomfortably in a movie theater full of children. It looks good. I watched, you'll be proud of me. I did do research. I watched the original before this one because I had never seen it. And it was fun. I think this one suffers from sequelitis, but it looks good as far as the animation. They put a lot of work. You can see where that part of the budget is in there. It's bright and colorful. All the kids seem like in the movie theater I was in. I missed the shiny crab scene though. I thought that was really good in the first movie, that whole song and dance, whatever. But anyway, The Rock as Maui, he's still fun. I will say it takes a while to get him back into the movie. I was a bit disappointed with that because that's kind of what they built off in the first movie. That was the fun part, so I was waiting for more of that, but he finally shows up towards the end. Moana, man, I was getting some Rise of the Skywalker. They had like the Wayfarer, and he had like his hooks of lights there, and then she had all the ancestors at the end. I'm like, oh my god, it's Rey. But ultimately, she's good. I think her mission, since you all would know better than I would, wouldn't that make her a colonizer? Because she's literally traveling to another island to get on there and get more people. I don't know. But I don't know.
I can't say why she's not a colonizer because we'd get cancelled.
It did strike me a little bit. I was like, they did do that over in them islands, but they didn't go over there just to be happy and meet people. They went over there to, well, anyway. It's not as good as the original. it kind of takes a little time. Like, God, this is hard because I have no idea what to say about this movie. It's a kid's movie. It drags a little bit here and there. The villain, I didn't understand. They had the one lady who's a bat, but she didn't turn out to be a villain, but she had Maui captured. And I don't know if I missed something on that because, God, that movie theater I was in was it was hell. The Storm God, it looked cool, but there wasn't really anything to it. Like Deej said in his blog review, it's just the final thing they have to overcome. So, I mean, the kids in the movie theater I was in, they seemed to like it. Goddamn, it was rough. There were a lot of screaming kids, and God, Hatch, you know about that. But these kids were actually screaming because they were happy. It was a different kind of scream. But I don't know how to rate this thing. Shit, I'll give it a 6. I mean, if you're taking your kids to see Moana 2, you know what it's going to be, and this is what it is.
Shockingly, I'm actually a big Disney fan. Like the original animated stuff, there's some real good stuff in there. I think we've often spoke about Mulan and Aladdin for me, which are just I could easily rewatch those and thoroughly enjoy them and give them high scores. I really enjoyed the original Moana, and I really enjoyed the back and forth between the characters, and you had a real, I think, succinct kind of plot and an aim, and it was like I think Disney stories like these work best when they are just like simple stories. Like, I think in the first one, I actually should have rewatched it, like you did. It's been a few years since I've seen it, or at least researched it. Done the very basics that a decent host.
The bare minimum.
The bare minimum. The bare minimum. Well, the bare minimum would be to watch the film. I should have probably done a little bit more. But I remember it being real kind of simple. She's going out there to try and find Maui, and then finds Maui, and it's all like, don't meet your heroes, blah, 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 blah. She has to go and convince him. And it was kind of that, really good back and forth. This one, I feel like the plot really meandered. You get the call to action quite early on, where she gets the whole thing from the old spirit, who's like, you need to venture out there, otherwise these guys will just die off, which does make sense, ish. But then once she goes out with her crew, things kind of meander about a bit, and there's no real we're going this way. It just ends up being like they find stuff by happenstance, and there's no real drive from the characters. I mean, maybe I'm being too picky. I don't think I am. I think you can still have a good film. I thought her crew had fuck all to do. They didn't do anything. I thought their specialities, apart from the sort of mechanic one at the end, the others, like the guy with the plants, did fuck all. I don't know. Was he supposed to be comic relief? Because he didn't say anything funny. And then the big strong guy, he was just a big dumb idiot, wasn't he? Yeah. Which kind of Maui is. So why have you kind of doubled that up?
Yeah.
Oh God, I don't know if I'm going to be here for next week. Then like the vampire thing, I did not get what was going on there.
Yeah,
that was completely out of left field. Like, why have you added in this character? It was almost like, stay tuned because this character will be in Moana 3, which apparently is what was missed in the mid-credit scene. I mean, I wasn't staying to hang about for
the police.
The mid-credits. The mid-credit scene is basically the big storm god threatening the vampire thing, and then some crab comes in to save the day or something.
Okay.
Fuck knows. So basically the vampire lady just keeps Maui trapped until he's needed, which is really shit for Maui. Like, he's just hanging there, literally hanging, waiting for his entrance into the film, which I thought was just shit, because when they keep going back to him, it's just like, oh yeah, and you're still there, right? Okay, we're just waiting for you to get it. And then ultimately the big bad was literally a storm. Like, there was no personality to it. It wasn't like an actual god comes out of the thing. It was just like a few lightning bolts, and that was it. And then the whole, oh yeah, the only way we're going to do it is if we touch the island. Oh, can I just swim down there and do it? No, but also yes.
But yes.
So yeah, and ultimately, how can we have a film like this that doesn't have any kind of diversity and inclusion? That was the real sad thing. Where's the colors of the rainbow in this? Would be my thing. Disney are letting us like that. No, I thought this was real average stuff, and I would dare say it's this low hanging fruit of let's get those characters back. Let's put in some all right songs. I quite enjoyed the Vampire Lady song, but the others I didn't think were particularly. They didn't grab me. I just had the Wicked songs going through my head again because I've been listening to them all week, boys. I'm not going to lie. Popular, they've been great.
I've been trying to scrub it from my brain.
yeah, they've been on my playlist. So yeah, for me, this was a 5. I can't give it any more. The first one would definitely get like a 7 or 7.5. So yeah.
Yeah, there you go. A kids film review from two guys who have no business reviewing kids film.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Hatch's good at reviewing kids, but kids film.
That's a whole different thing now.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I could think of MP when you said your one when you're like, yeah, I'm uncomfortable now. I was like, yeah, it probably is uncomfortable sitting in a kids film with a boner, but.
Especially one my size.
Right. Well, it's nice to hear your. Oh Lord!
All you single moms out there listening.
Yeah, I mean, you've got kids as well. Like you could literally have taken your kids. You've chosen to go by yourself.
Well, they're all grown up now, and they live miles and miles and miles away. I had no other options.
Yeah. Actually, some of the kids that you've stolen years ago, they must nearly be grown up by now. You could just take one of your ones from your basement, surely.
Well, yeah, a few of them are graduating soon. It's going to be a really momentous day.
I will say I did wear a shirt that says MP of Just Go Watch Pod, not Hatch. I wanted to make sure I was identified as the appropriate host.
They'd see if they'd see the lack of a quiff and they'd know immediatally.
Yeah, exactly. How jealous I would be.
Yeah.
And a stain on the trousers.
You are a stain on society.
Yeah, that's correct. That is correct. I am a reprobate.
I can't believe the money it's made. The money that is serious.
Yeah, it's sequel to a popular movie hitting at the right. It was Thanksgiving weekend here, so it was a holiday weekend. So and parents just want to get the kids out of the house. I figured it would have done
that would make sense.
The theater I was in was, I mean, every seat was filled up. So,
wow. I mean, mine was fairly busy for an afternoon show in midweek. It was pretty busy. I genuinely thought that this wouldn't do that well because I thought this is going to be the type of film it's going to be on streaming in a couple of months, so people are just going to be like, "Oh, fuck it, we'll just wait." It might even be there before Christmas. But
I think it's the biggest worldwide opening for an animated film ever.
But that does surprise me because
that's surprising. Yes,
Moana was the first one. That was quite a big thing, I thought, when it came out.
First one was great. The first one was really good.
Yeah.
And it was
first one was really good.
It that big? I mean, it came out in what, like 2016 or something. It's been a minute, right?
Yeah, 2016. You are correct. See what
that's wild.
What kind of money? If I tell you the budget was pretty much the same, would you reckon that's done?
What, the original one? Oh God, I don't know. The Rock was big back then as well. Like he was.
Let me tell you. All right, don't get too excited, basically.
Really?
Well, don't be coming out with some outrageous numbers.
I reckon. I don't know. 500 mil.
Damn. Okay. I was thinking higher, but then Hatch pulled the rug out from
under me. No. When Deej was talking about The Rock being big back then and all that kind of thing, I thought I was going to get some silly numbers shouted at me.
What would you consider a silly number? Oh God, I don't know now. I if this movie's doing that big, I would have thought that one was massive, but I honestly don't even remember. God, I don't remember. Yeah, I guess I'll go 750 million. I don't know.
Yeah, 687.
Really?
The way, do you know what? The way this is opened up, I was quite surprised. I thought this was going to be,
I thought a billion
almost
easy.
approaching that billion. Yeah. The way it's kind of going.
Like Deej said, that was like right at the height of rockness.
Do you know what? I feel like this
one's
film.
going to make a bill. This one's going to make a billion.
This film, right? This feels like the Christmas special equivalent of like in between the next film, like before the next film. Do you know what I mean? Like Maui's, it's almost like a placeholder.
Yeah, like a
Maui's not doing much in it. He honestly does fuck. He does fuck all,
and it really drug when he's not in it because God, I was like, I missed that little like you said, that interaction between the two of them in the first movie. I was like, okay, I want to see more of that, and he's not in it for God, what, at least half the movie.
Yeah, exactly. Like he is literally held in stasis until it is time for him to meet up with them. Like it's honest. It's quite bizarre. I don't know whether that was that on purpose. Was that was that Dwayne sort of no, I can't commit that much time. But I'd find that bizarre, considering he talks a big game about the importance of these movies to him and like the cultural stuff, and they really do weigh in on the cultural side of things on this. Like there's a lot of the kind of ceremonial type bits, which I did enjoy.
Yeah, I like that stuff. So that was the fun.
Yeah, I do like that. The sort of Hawaii stuff and like but yeah, it's very surprising that he's then also not hugely in it, doing much in the way of.
But they definitely leveled Moana up. She's definitely full on girl boss mode in this movie.
She's. I was at one point. I was trying to think about this because I didn't want to be jumping on the bandwagon of like girl boss, but I was looking at it like, if you are a bloke in this film, you are a bit of an idiot. Even like Maui with his demigod powers, like as I've said, he does fuck all, really.
Yeah.
I mean, if you think about once they escape, they then take on the storm. He gives them a pep talk. He then beats up some fish. Then he gets beaten up by the storm. And that's it.
Yeah. He becomes the diversion at one point, so she can.
He becomes the diversion. Yeah. He really has minimal impact apart from defeating those fish when they first enter. They're talking about how dangerous this other realm is, and then it's like, oh yeah, there's 3 fish.
Yeah, they go right through it.
That will try and eat you. Whereas, I mean, she's doing everything, and that's why I again say, like, the whole crew, they didn't. No one.
Oh, they were. Oh, the shipbuilder girl, and not. I mean, that's the only way I can identify her. I can't remember the character's name.
Yeah,
but I don't know if she was designed to be like have ADD or something. But the way she would talk so fast and was constantly, it was driving me crazy.
Yeah, that was annoying.
And then, like you said, the other two were just I don't know why they had the old man come.
One of them was steering the boat until it needed to be somebody steering it who was a main character, and then Moana would take over, and he would just stand there in the background, like doing nothing.
Hold this.
Because he was supposed to be super strong as well, and yet you absolutely
never really played it.
Yeah, I thought they almost crowded it a bit. I know that I'm guessing they just didn't want to put Moana in it and just Moana
do the same thing again,
Maui again, just doing the exact same thing. But that was what worked best,
and it kind of is what it ends up being at the end. She's in charge of the boat, and he's doing the other stuff, and that was it.
Yeah, I don't know. Could you have had her with powers, and they're on like a level playing field, almost. I mean, he is still a demigod.
I didn't put that much thought into this movie.
I don't know. Well, I'm literally just thinking that now.
I wasn't sitting in there to go, what would I have done with this movie? I'm like, God, just make it end so I can get away from all these damn kids.
What could they have done different?
Yeah, what would you have done differently? What would you have changed?
I just think you've got to go a slightly different way. And try something that they did different to what they actually did, and try and make it better in ways that would have made the film more enjoyable for people to watch.
Thanks. I feel like I'm interviewing like a sports star.
Politician.
Oh, how was the game? It was a game of 2 halves. You know, they almost had us in the first half, but we won.
We never gave
we
up.
scored more points than them. And they scored less points than us. So
I mean, let me drill down into it. I really liked the bits with Maui in it, and you know that song, the one.
Yeah.
You know the one. You know the one.
Yeah, the one that's sung.
Yeah.
The song. The
You know how it goes. You know. We are in the number. You know. And I was like, yeah, that was a good song.
That was a good one.
Yeah. That was
Yeah.
Do you know? I actually fell asleep for 5 minutes during the final battle. You know, I only knew that because Moana says something about a volcano being on fire or something, and I was like, what? Oh, and then I realized I'd been asleep for like 5 minutes. I put that down to like my illness that I have currently and not boredom. Although I also was a bit like
It's common after you climax. Sometimes you just pass out.
Dear.
Also, I don't really feel you can class paedophilia as an illness. Yeah. I just
Oh goodness. Oh goodness. Thank God we are not monetized currently. There's been far too many.
You know, there's probably some mom driving in her car with her kids. Hey, here's a review for Moana 2. Let's see what they have to say.
Yeah, we should put in like a
bingo.
I do always click that this is not suitable for children when we post these. So listen, if you're not gonna look at the background to the podcast,
it's your own fault.
Videos that you're showing us, your own fault. Yeah,
if you don't care enough about your kids to check those things out and or to not let them go into a cinema where Hatch is in, then that's your own fault. If their innocence is stolen in one way or the other, that's your own fault. Is that victim blaming? I don't know.
Yeah, actually, yeah, you can't do that. You can't do that.
Bad.
You can't do that. I also do say it's tongue in cheek about the lack of diversity stuff. I'm all for stories from different parts of the world when it's and let's tell a genuine story. There wouldn't have been a bunch of diversity. Do you know what I mean? This is like
and give me characters that I like, and I'm pulled into the movie, and whatever the culture is, hell, I'm loving it because it's better than my boring ass white life.
Whoa! That's also victim blaming. That's also victim blaming. That's race blaming. Jesus! All right.
Yeah.
Look, we don't have to put one race down to bring the others up, much like we don't have to put one gender down to bring the others.
We don't have to.
Yeah. Hatch, how many genders are there?
I'm not getting into this. Jesus Christ.
Who would have thought Moana 2 would be the one review that would bring this podcast crumbling down?
Listen. Oh God.
I never.
Anyway,
what was the? I just never really got the urgency of this movie. I think in the last one, wasn't it like half the island was decaying or something, and that's why she had to find.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, it was basically like
in 100 generations, you won't be on this island anymore. I'm like, oh, okay. They got plenty of time then.
And then like 1,000 years
that way. Yeah, it did seem that way, and it was also like, oh right, yeah, but it's kind of one of those things of like, yeah, but now that you've told me this will happen, can I not avert that? No, this will like, yeah, but surely I can. Like, why would we not continue here? Like, we can continue to reproduce. We've got food, we've got crops, we've got a life cycle. So why is it not going to happen?
Right. It seemed to be flourishing. They got, like you said, food, and everybody's got someone to be with. And...
Do you know what my immediate thought, like when the other boats from other tribes came in, can you imagine they just come off the thing like with axes and they were just like and then just like Yeah, I mean,
hacking the shit out of everybody.
Let's be realistic here. Of the two options, right? Was it diplomacy, or were you more likely to be invaded?
Yeah, I'm gonna go with the
2,000 years ago.
latter choice there.
I'm gonna think that things would be pretty apprehensive when you found a new group of people.
You see your little sister standing on a cliff. Dad, is that Moana? The arrow come flying right in her head.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I'll bet, nice idea. I'll tell you what as well, if all the islands look like this, I wouldn't mind being an island dweller.
They seem to be doing well.
They seem to be doing good. Everyone's eating well.
I thought that when I saw the first one, I was like, Island looks all right.
Yeah.
Everyone's just chilling, everyone's happy.
Yeah.
When she's running around singing that song and talking about like whatever she's saying about I'll be a leader and I'll be what my people need me to be and stuff. And I'm looking at them, I'm like, it ain't a sad face in this island. They're all just happy. All the men are hench. The women look all right. So
yeah, the chief would they could live off the chief for 1,000 generations alone.
They got some forearms, man. What a race of world champion arm wrestlers they could have been. Unbelievable.
That's a missed opportunity. A real missed opportunity. Do you know what I didn't do when I introduced
Moana
this film
3?
as well? This was quite peculiar. This was directed by 3 different people. How did you manage that? You know what I mean?
I don't know.
How's it directed?
I don't know how they
3 different
direct
people?
animated movies.
Well, yeah, there is that as well. I don't really know how to. David Derrick Jr., Jason Hand, and Dana Ledoux Miller.
Are they the same from the first movie?
I'm not going into that. I don't know.
Shit.
I mean, it does talk about directorial debuts. I don't know if that's all 3. It could be. I mean, you got 2 different producers. You've got the screenplay. You got a different person in there. The story's by another different. I mean, it's just.
It paid off.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, I remember I did. There was a quiet bit after like some big battle or something. When they all end up on the ship and it's upside down. I did hear some kid over my shoulder be like, "Oh, at least they've still got the ship." And I was like, you are really clinging on to this film, aren't you, mate? Like, you are living it. You are really living it. So I imagine for a kid, this must be like I do always think the best films that stand the test of time, you can watch it as a kid and love it, all the pretty colors and everything else and the little slapstick stuff that goes on. But then when you watch it as an adult, you can still appreciate it. And maybe there's a couple of jokes in there that you didn't realize were more like geared towards adults and just went straight over your head. The story makes sense. The characters are great. All that kind of stuff. The music's actually good lyrics and good music rather than just, happy thoughts, that kind of stuff.
Something like on a Shrek level or something like that.
So I feel like this, I don't know, this is probably going to make money because of, I don't know, the first one. And as you said, MP, the time of year it's released and maybe all that kind of jazz. But I don't know. I just can't see this being great.
There's not anything else to compete with it right now. There's not another Christmas movie. There's not even like.
Love it.
Usually this is Oscar season. You get a bunch of those types of movies, but they're not even getting.
No, but listen. The kids are gonna go and see this. This is what I was saying the other week about Red One, right? Where you've got to know your audience. This knows its audience. I mean, this is kids are gonna go and see this film. I remember when I was, many years ago, when I used to work in a cinema, and you never ever see a film a cinema as busy as when like some animated film comes out, some Pixar film and whatnot, because they love it, man. These kids, you got these parents that are there just thinking, fuck me, I hate my life. I hate these kids, man. Fuck's sake. And they're like, I'll just do anything just to shut this kid up for a minute.
There it is.
So like they take him to the cinema, sit him in the seat next to him, and then just fall asleep themselves while their kid stuffs a greedy little face with some popcorn. Like that is the life of many people in the world today. So they're more than happy to do that. Do you know what I mean? Just to shut the little goblin up for 10 minutes. Do you know what I mean? So like I see that it can be a huge film, and I reckon we're going to be talking about a film that grosses north of $1 billion. Simple as that.
We shall see. We shall see.
I agree.
We shall see. What do you think? What do you think Rotten Tomatoes is saying?
I reckon. I mean, the thing is, when I think about how I felt about this film when I was watching it, I've got to say that the critics, I think, are going to be, roughly in line. So I'm going to say 65% for the critics. I'm going to say the audience score though is going to be like 90 odd.
Okay,
that's my official number. 90 odd.
Where did he come up with those numbers? I wonder. Oh yeah, we'll go 70% critics and 95% audience.
All right, we're on 63 for critics and 87 for audience. So close, Deej. So suspiciously close.
Listen,
I cannot believe the Muad'Dij would do such a thing.
The Muad'Dij would never do that. I mean, always remember, you shall know him by the accuracy of his predictions. It has been foretold, and you shall know him, for he will not even see the film, and yet will know it better than one who has.
There you go. There you go. So, I mean, I presume we're pretty happy on our previous ratings there, MP.
Yeah,
feels
like about
average. I'll go for a
movie.
Yeah, I'll go. What did you say, Hatch?
I said a 5.
And what did you say, MP?
6.
Yeah, no, I'll go for 5.5. I'll go for a 5.5. I think that's no one can criticize that.
Does that feel about right?
Yeah, feels
about right.
Okay, so what does that give us?
Yeah, 5.5.
Oh, well, perfect then. Hang on.
I've hit it on the nose.
Man,
hang on.
I really am good at this.
How that worked out.
I really am good at this.
Well, look, that is about all we're going to talk about with Moana 2. A little bit shorter for you here. What a delight. What a delight. A little bit of a shorter pod. Just the mere 40 minutes, probably the average commute time into work. You can listen to it there on the way back as well. Yeah, so that was Moana 2. If you are still listening, again, shameless plug. Give us 5 stars, subscribe, like the video, comment, send us a message on Instagram, Twitter. Please do all of that good stuff. And we love you. But there's only one way that you are going to know what you thought of Moana 2. And that is...
Get your Rudy Poo candy ass out to the theater. It's Just Go Watch.
That is not where I thought that was going.